On to our next story, we're talking about Akothee. And I just need to talk about Akothee being happy. I need to talk about this lady just being in a peaceful space, in a place where she feels content, she feels happy. Because I feel like anytime she comes on the internet or she talks about something or there's something going on, it always has that underlying tone of being a celebrity is such work. It's so detrimental to my health. You're always going through something, baby girl, and I really cannot understand why. Anyway, she took to her social media earlier on this week, talking about how despite the fact that she is a celebrity, she is a well-known public figure, she does feel very, very lonely. And immediately I saw that, I remembered having this conversation with somebody, and they were like, oh, people are probably, men are probably falling at your feet. Your DMs are probably full, 100. Everybody wants to see, everybody wants to go out with you. And I remember telling this person, it's very lonely being a well-known person because you're always guarded, you're always 100, you're always on alert because you never know where an attack is coming from. You never know who is conspiring to do what. You never know if you're going to answer a DM and then you end up, on a blog or something, or you're going to start talk to somebody and then they're only talking to you because not they're interested in you personally, but just so they can show other people that they know you or they have that connection to you. So I do understand how she meant that sometimes being a well-known person is very, very, very lonely. And she says, it gets so lonely being a star, believe me. Sometimes I miss taking a matatu without being watched. It has become so lonely that I moved into my in-laws' house and also into my children's houses. And I'm like, girl, do you have a support system, you have people around you, so please use them. Are they not also using you for money? Don't you come to the internet and tell us about how people are using you for money? Even you, use them for companionship. Although her relationship with Nelly Oaks is thriving. I remember she got divorced to her husband, Omosh, and rekindled her relationship with Nelly Oaks, and they seem to be doing fine. Anyway, apart from that, she also had a message for the people who are feeling very entitled about her money. And she said, stop coming to my DMs feeling very entitled about my money. How dare you come and DM me and tell me all your problems, and when I find myself unable to help you, you switch it up, and now you're no longer asking for help, but you're now demanding and feeling entitled about it. And went on to remind people that all her children have finished school. And the ones who are still in school are in Europe being taken care of. So she does not have the burden of having to take care of you also. She is her own person. Let Akothee live. Me, I feel like we should just let her go. Just let her thrive, let her retire, let her live her best life and stop torturing this woman, because baby girl is always going through it. And I am just tired of always reporting and talking about her in such a light.
Yeah, every time I think about, actually, to be particular, when I thought about the story, I went into that headspace of like, do you know what? I understand why there can be situations where people marry their people that are around them. Like, I only interact with, have conversations with, deal with, date people of my caliber. Like, it was listening to this story that gave me that. I'm like, oh yeah, I completely get it now. Because, like, honestly, people who can relate to her are people of her standard, people of her financial capacity, people of her school of thought. And the reason why she's finding herself in these lonely spaces is because, unfortunately, she's surrounded herself with people that are not of that caste. And therefore, it becomes difficult for you to, like, I don't know, find your people. Honestly, have you ever realized that when a rich person starts hanging out with like regular people, the relationship, the reciprocity of it never works out, simply because whenever you're like, let's just go out and have a good time, we're all going like, yeah, let's definitely go out and have a good time, but we're all looking at you to pay for the bill, right? Whenever we are like, yeah, let's go on a trip and whatever, I have to sponsor that trip, I have to take care of the financial bit of that, and it starts to feel like it is not reciprocated in the way that you want it to be reciprocated. However, if we're all bawling out of control and we're like, yeah, let's just hop into whatever and get to the coast. No one is bothering anyone. We're all here having a good time. We're all in the same situation financially, so no one is bothered about anyone else. In a situation like that, everyone is feeling free to be themselves. And therefore, you kind of find that you're not feeling that burden, that heaviness of hanging out with people or being around people, simply because they don't want anything from you other than your friendship. They don't want literally any other thing than to just have a good time with you. And I feel like that's her problem. That's the problem she's going through right now. She does not have her own people who are in her own capacity or are on her level, and therefore it just becomes a thing of every time she looks around and she wants to spend time with someone, it's always like they're always just extending their hands for help. Maybe that, I could be wrong. I really could be 100% wrong. But I think that's what came to me. It's just at different levels in life, find people within those levels in life. Make friends as you climb up the ladder, and you will forever be in a good space. Think about someone like Annalisa. Do we ever see her complaining about her socials? Why? Because whenever you look at their photos, whenever the only problem she makes are dating. Dating now, see what happened. But her friendships, like if you look at their friendships, it's friendship goals. You'll see her, Akira Hantel, those are the Russian chicks. Like it's always people of the same school of thought, of the same financial, capacity, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't feel like a burden. It feels more like a celebration of being together with your friends. I don't know. This is just my personal thought. You think what you may, and let us know what your opinions are, to be entirely honest. But yeah, like Akothee just needs to, these sad ninja hours need to stop being days and months and years, because it's a lot. It's a lot of sadness weighing on her. Jesus. Jeez. Just take a break, have a good life. I think we're okay with you having a good life.
Yeah.
We don't need you to be the advocate for single mothers. We don't need you to be the advocate for anything. You just like chill, have a good time, take a breather, take a long vacation, enjoy yourself, get back into yourself, heal from all the trauma that has come your way, and just be happy. Just be happy.